Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be doing an all-body flow. It'll be grounding. There'll be some movements that work on balance. If you can, just look around your mat or carpet area where you're practicing and make sure that there's nothing you can hit or anything like that. And then you may want to grab either like a hand towel, or if a strap is a part of your practice, go ahead and grab that. Blocks, a blanket, whatever you like to use at the end for your savasana. And we'll meet on the mat in an easy seat. Taking a moment to settle into the space. Maybe you take a minute and move any flesh out of the way. Get your sits bones connected to the ground. Taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, maybe you allow your gaze to soften to the floor. Maybe your eyes come all the way to a close. Maybe noticing any sounds that are around you. Taking a minute to notice how the air feels on your skin. Noticing how the ground feels beneath you as it's rising up to support you. Noticing all the points along your legs where you come in contact with the ground. Noticing where your sits bones connect with the ground. Maybe taking a moment to lengthen through the top of the head. Noticing if that feels any different in the body. Allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears. Maybe one hand comes over your torso, one hand to the chest. With your next deep breath in, noticing how the body expands with each breath and compresses with each exhale. Maybe with your next exhale, you allow something to soften in your body that feels tense. Maybe each exhale, you focus on a different part of the body that is tight, and you allow it to relax with the exhale. May the hands come back on top of the knees. One more deep breath in. Exhale it out, open mouth, sigh. You're welcome to open your eyes at this point, or you can keep them closed for a little bit longer. Go ahead and start shrugging your shoulders. We're going to come up with our inhale. And with our exhale, allow the shoulders to drop back and down. Inhale forward and up. Exhale back and down. Go ahead and move through 2 more of those at the pace of your own breath. And then reverse it, going back and up with your inhale, forward and down with your exhale, back and up, forward and down. Beautiful. If your eyes haven't opened yet, allow them to flutter open and start letting in the light. Beautiful. We're going to plant our left hand on the floor and sweep the right hand up to the sky. Inhaling. Beautiful. We're thinking about lengthening through the fingertips and even swiveling the pinky down towards the floor. Palm goes to the back of the room. Inhale. Exhale, switch the hands. Right hand plants, left hand comes up, and again we're going to see if we can just swivel that pinky down to the floor a little bit. Thumb comes up to the ceiling. Palm is to the back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend. Go ahead and move through 2 more sets of those at the pace of your own breath. Coming up and exhale. Move through it how you need. Beautiful, you guys. And when you're done, settling back into stillness, we're going to raise both arms up, above. Exhaling, twist, putting the right hand on top of the left knee, twisting to the back of the room. Inhaling forward, arms come back up. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand on right knee. Inhale forward. Beautiful. We can do one last. Inhale, arms up to the ceiling. And exhale, bring them down. Beautiful. Go ahead and stretch both of your legs out in front of you. And then go ahead and grab your strap. If it's ever too intense to be sitting with our legs stretched in front, you can always grab that blanket you might have nearby, roll it up to any size, stick it underneath your knees, give them a little support, whatever you need to support yourself in this pose. And then going ahead and grabbing your towel or strap, whatever you might have handy. We're going to engage our cores, sitting straight up through the top of the head. Grab the towel in your right hand and drop it behind your back. Beautiful. Grabbing it with the left hand down below And just getting your hand where you need to be to open up the front of that arm, the front of your upper right arm. Feeling that beautiful stretch. Exhale, release, switch hands. Taking a minute to sit straight up again and dropping it behind the back. Beautiful. Maybe even pulling down a little bit with the right hand, seeing how that feels. Engaging the core as we're sitting up straight. And exhale, release. Beautiful, you guys. Go ahead and take a minute to get your sits bones connected with the floor here again. And when you're ready, we're going to hinge from the hips, falling forward over the knees. This is our seated forward fold. Thinking about that lengthening through the top of the spine. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up. Go ahead and bring that right foot into the top of your left thigh. And we're going to fold forward again. Inhale, stretching up through the top of the head. Exhale, falling forward. Beautiful. Just taking a minute to notice if anything changes when we're focusing in on one leg. If the sensation moves around, if it's in a different spot now. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up. We're going to, with our next inhale, sweep our arms up over top, raising up to the ceiling. And exhale, twist to the right. Left hand comes on top of the right knee. Right palm plants behind. Sitting here for a moment. With our next inhale, starting to unfold, coming towards the front. Inhale, raising the arms up again. And this time, exhale, twist to the other side. Maybe that right hand comes around or in front of that left knee, not on top of the knee, but closer to the body. And release. Beautiful. We're going to switch legs. This time, left foot is going to come into the right thigh. Inhale, reaching up to the top of the head, and exhale, fold forward. Taking a minute to check in and notice if this side is any different. Inhale, rise up. With our next inhale, we're going to reach our arms up above to the ceiling and twist towards our bent leg. Right hand on top of left knee. Left hand is planting behind. Maybe each inhale draws you up a little closer to the ceiling. And maybe each exhale guides you a little deeper into the twist. Inhale, starting to untwist, coming back to the center. And again, we're going to inhale, bring our arms up above and reverse the twist. Exhale, painting the left hand down on the right thigh. Right hand comes behind. And release the twist. Beautiful, you guys. We're going to come to our hands and knees on tabletop. Come however you are comfortable. You can arrive in any way that you need to. From our tabletop position, we're going to be working on a balancing position after we wake up our spine with some cat-cows. If anything ever becomes too much or sensation too intense, you're always welcome to push your hips back towards your heels for child's pose. Starting with a few cat-cows, taking a minute to find that neutral spine. We're thinking about, even just while we're here in neutral, just pushing that chest away from the floor, opening across the back. Our elbow sockets are pointing towards the front. The creases of our elbows are facing the front and the short edge of the mat. And with your next inhale, start to drop the back towards the mat. Chest tips up, hips tip up, chin traces a line towards the ceiling. And exhale, begin to release and round the back. And this time, the torso is going away from the floor, rounding towards the ceiling. And coming through for an inhale. Dropping the back. Exhale, rounding. Go ahead and move through 2 more sets of those at the pace of your own breath. Beautiful. And when you're done, we're going to come into neutral. And before we do our balancing, we're just going to think about really grounding through our left hand and our left leg. We're going to end up picking up the right hand and moving the right foot. So just take a minute to really maybe spread out the fingers on the left hand. Maybe you almost tent them a little bit by pressing down into your fingertips and into the palm, engaging the core. And then we're going to go to our left leg. We're thinking about pushing down to the top of the left foot. And then when you're ready, start to move your right foot back to be in line with the left foot. It's almost going to be like your left foot is pointing at your right foot. And then when you're ready, we're going to pick up the right hand and raise it towards the ceiling. Beautiful. There's so many good things happening here in this pose. We're strong, we're balancing. Beautiful. We're almost completely making a line Everything is in line with the other. Beautiful. Pushing down through the tops of the feet, the top of the left foot, and the side of the right to find that balance. Beautiful. Now beginning to bring the right hand back down to the mat. We're going to leave the right foot there for a minute, rotating it onto the toe. It should be back in line with tabletop again. We're going to play with lifting it. So again, just taking a minute to make sure that we have the same neutral position in the front. We're pushing away from the earth through our hands, engage in the core, and then play with lifting your right foot. Maybe today you play with hovering it above the ground. Maybe today you play with taking weight out of it as it's on the ground. Maybe you pull it up so that it's level, just finding where your body is today. And then in any zone that it is, we're going to bring it around, almost tracing a little half circle to the side of us. Bringing it so that it's in line, stretched out on the side of the floor. And then it can be there, or if it's more comfortable, you can come back to tabletop or go to child's pose anytime. And then once it's there, pushing back with your hands and coming to stand. If this is too intense for your left knee, feel free to stay here in tabletop, and if or find extra padding for that knee. We're going to stretch up through the hands. Beautiful. We're going to bend towards that leg, just being careful not to put your hand on the knee. And release, bringing the hands back down to the floor. We're going to engage everything one more time and bring that foot around, tracing a half circle to the back before pulling it in. Beautiful, you guys. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, inhaling, engaging the core, stretching that left foot out behind, making sure that we're grounding through our right hand, maybe even tenting it a little bit, and then bringing it to lay on the side of the foot behind the right. And then whenever you're ready, playing with lifting up the left hand. We're pressing down through the right hand, we're grounding. Maybe even thinking about fixing your gaze on a point in front of you. Thinking about the side of that left foot. Drawing in the core and breathing. Thinking about that long line of energy coming from the outside of the left foot and going all the way up the left hand. With your next exhale, release and drop the hand to the floor. Beautiful, you guys. And then we're going to do the same thing where we sweep the left foot around, kind of tracing a half circle to the side, bringing it in line with the knee. And with your next inhale, coming up to be on your knee. And again, please feel free to make any adjustments for that knee if you need to. Left hand comes onto the left thigh. Inhale, sweeping the arm up and reaching over. Arm can also come to calf. Inhale, rising back up through center, and release. Hands come back to the ground. Finding our stable position, engage the core and sweep the leg back behind again. And from here, we're going to play with lifting it. Inhale and either float, hover, or bring that left foot up, seeing what your body is needing today. Beautiful, and release. Go ahead and send your hips back towards your heels for child's pose. Taking a minute here to soak up all that beautiful movement. Maybe you rub your forehead back and forth on the floor. Maybe you're using a block. Wherever you are, just checking in that the toes are touching. Knees can be wide or together. And wherever you are, maybe just playing with stretching one hand a little bit farther and then the other. Just doing a little bit at a time before settling into stillness. Big breath in and exhale it out. Beautiful, you guys. Beautiful. From here, we're going to inhale, bringing the right hand up towards the ceiling while keeping in our child's pose. Left hand can stay on the floor. And with our exhale, we're going to thread that right hand through for our variation of thread the needle. While you're here, maybe thinking about pressing in to that left hand on the back of the right hand. Inhale, unwinding and sweeping that right hand back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release. Beautiful. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, bringing that left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, threading it through the right armpit. Beautiful. Starting to unwind, inhale, and bring that left hand back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release. Beautiful. We're going to take a minute to walk our hands out to each side. Inhaling, walk the hands out to the right side of the mat. Maybe they come off it a little bit. Forehead can rest on the floor or on a block. Coming in for that beautiful side stretch. Inhale, raise your head up. We're going to walk to the other side of the mat. Exhale, fold in. Hands are off to the left. Feeling the right side of the body opening up. back to center and start to push yourself up onto your knees. We're going to come onto our backs and have a nice session on our backs. We're going to do a few flows here. Make your way down however you feel comfortable. Maybe you lower yourself down one vertebra at a time. Maybe you allow yourself to rock down. However you like to arrive. And then once we're here, taking a minute to check in. Maybe we tuck our shoulder blades underneath our bodies. Bringing the feet in close to the bum. We're going to push into our feet for bridge. So whenever you're ready, inhaling, tucking the tailbone slightly and engaging the core to raise our hips off the ground for bridge. One breath here and release. You can come down as slowly or as quickly as you need. We're going to do 2 more of those, and each time we do them, we're going to hold them a little bit longer. But feel free to come down if you need to come down early. With our next inhale, rising up. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths this time. One more breath. And release. We're going to do that one more time and hold for 5 breaths. When you're ready, inhaling, rising up. And beginning to slowly release. Maybe you take the longest that you've taken yet today on this release, lowering slowly down. Beautiful, you guys. Bring your right ankle to cross over the top of your left knee. You're welcome to stay here. This is a great place to be. You can press on your right thigh and open up those hips. Or you can reach through and grab your left thigh and bring them in a little bit closer. And then when you're ready, we're going to release the legs into a twist, and there's 2 ways you can do it. You can, or there's more, but today I'm offering to do it however you like. But you can allow the knees to come in together before dropping them to the left, or you can release the twist of the knees and the overlapping of the knees and hug them into your chest before dropping them to the left. So either way, maybe you have them wrapped, maybe they're side by side. Wherever you are, allowing them to drop left and extending your right arm out to the side for a supine twist. And maybe your gaze follows your right hand. Inhaling up through center. Plant both feet back on the ground. And then if you haven't already done this, just go ahead and grab both those knees and give them a little hug and walk out the hips before we switch to the other side. And then when you're ready, dropping that right foot down to the ground, crossing the left ankle over the top of the right knee. Just checking in to see what this side of your body needs. Maybe this side needs something different than the other side. And wherever you are, just soaking up that beautiful release. We'll be heading into our supine twist. So again, taking either variation that you need on this side. Maybe you hug both knees into your chest. Maybe you allow the knees to come close together, crossing over before dropping them over to the right side of the body. Thinking about our shoulders both staying planted on the mat or the floor. Left hand stretching out to the side. Gaze can follow the left hand. With your next exhale, starting to unwind. And then maybe you hug those knees in one more time, walking out the hips. And when you're ready, coming into happy baby, hands can come to the tops or the shins, tops of the shins to the shins, to the sides of the feet. You can grab your big toes with your peace fingers, wherever you need to be today. Maybe you're rocking back and forth a little bit still, massaging those hips. And release. Go ahead and take any last movements you need before we settle into our Shavasana. Maybe you take a whole body stretch. Maybe you move your knees up and down. Maybe you walk both your hands and your feet to one side and then the other. Just getting that side stretch in before grabbing any props that you'd like to use for your Shavasana. You may like to have a pillow or a bolster underneath your knees while you're sitting there. You may want to have a blanket over top of you. However you like to take your Shavasana. I invite you to find those pieces now. Beautiful. We'll be in the Shavasana for 6 minutes. I'll be here to guide you out. As we're settling into rest, maybe inviting in a gentle body scan, starting at the top of the head, going down through the face, the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw, the ears, the back of the head, the neck, the tops of the shoulders, down the arms, down the torso, through the hips, the thighs, the knees, the calves, the feet. Taking a minute to acknowledge the strength of the floor that's holding you up, and maybe letting yourself melt into it a little bit more. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. But if the rest of the day is calling you, maybe you take a nice big stretch. Slowly allowing movement to come back into your fingers and your toes. Before eventually going onto one side of your body and then pushing up to a seat. Thank you for taking this time with me today for your body, mind, and soul. I look forward to seeing you next time.